Hi, my name is Joseph Key and this is my production management vlog. So when I chose my second year modules, I was originally going to do the editing module as I have quite a big interest in editing. However, I realised that this was more of a hobby and wanted to challenge myself and do something that I didn't know much about. Before I started the module, I had no idea what a production manager was. I didn't know the amount of work and effort that they had to do in order for production to run smoothly. So my main expectation was to learn the main roles of a production manager, what they had to do and how to do their jobs. I also didn't expect production managers to have such a heavy workload. I knew that they were in charge of budgets and schedules, etc., but I didn't know they had to plan the whole shooting schedule, production schedule, had to plan travel and accommodation for crew and cast, find price of locations and props, create consent forms, and a lot more. Although the module requires a lot of work, I did actually really enjoy learning how to be a production manager. One thing I would do next time is start producing my work a lot earlier as I left everything quite late, without realising how much work I had to do, resulting in me PMCing all my work. I learned that you have to stick to deadlines and get everything done within a certain time frame because if I was a real production manager, I wouldn't get extensions. One of the best things I took from this module was all the new skills I have learned. For example, before the module, I had only a basic understanding of how to use Microsoft Excel, but after spending many hours creating the budget, I've learned how to make professional Excel spreadsheets using formulas which I couldn't do before. I also learned how to make call sheets, risk assessments, and shooting schedules from the examples on blackboards, and from also looking at production documents from shows that I've worked on as a runner. The module has also helped me become a lot more confident. As a production manager, you have to have good confidence of your as you are constantly working with different people, calling and emailing companies and suppliers for quotes, and finding contributors and crew. So that's a big thing I will take from the module. As I said before, the module really helps me develop a lot of new skills and gain confidence. These are things that I know are going to help me in the future with my university work and also in my personal and work life. I know these new skills are going to be very helpful when I move up to level 6 in my new modules because I will confidently be able to create production documents, speak to contributors, and even potentially take on a production manager role in student projects. These skills helped me a lot when I was looking for runner roles for my professional practice module. With the help from these lectures, the guest speakers, and my newfound confidence, I was able to secure 2 runner roles on Tom Allen's Quizness for Channel 4 and a Netflix show called Stay Close. The module helped me contact employers, prepare for interviews, and know what to do on the job. Working on these shows helped me a lot when creating all these production documents for Swashbuckle, as I was able to see real call sheets, budgets, schedules, so I took parts from these and implemented them into my own documents. When doing these jobs, I tried to speak to absolutely everybody that I could meet to find out more about their roles and how they do their job. I even managed to speak to the show's line producer, Hannah Thompson, who was also the production manager of Swashbuckle, and she gave me lots of tips which further helped me to complete the module. After finally completing the module and learning all these new skills, I decided to keep looking for more runner jobs, where I've now secured a runner job on Come Dine With Me and Naked Attraction. And not only have I been looking at runner jobs, um, since doing this module, I knew I'd be interested in going up the production route, so I've been looking at production assistant and secretary jobs too. During the module, we took part in carbon literacy training. During the training, we had to find out our own carbon footprint using the Albert calculator. This made me realise how big my carbon footprint was and that I needed to reduce it. I watched the documentary Before the Flood, which really opened my eyes on how important climate change is and how we can prevent it. The film mentioned lots of things that was really shocking, but the thing that I found that shocked me the most was about the agricultural industry. I found that 12% of US emissions come from consuming beef as they release methane gas into the atmosphere. I was shocked to find out that eating one half-pound burger was the equivalent of driving 40 miles or leaving a 60-watt light bulb on for 200 hours. This film also talked a lot about sustainable energy, as the leading cause for climate change is by burning fossil fuels. In the film, Elon Musk said that building 100 of his Tesla Gigafactories would be enough to move the world to 100% renewable energy. However, this currently isn't possible as it would be too expensive in underdeveloped countries. After watching the film and doing my carbon literacy training, I decided to make changes in my own life to reduce my own carbon footprint. I have now completely cut beef out of my diet, mainly eating chicken because according to the film, switching to chicken would reduce emissions by 80%. I also started walking a lot more instead of using my car to go short distances, which is something I used to do a lot. I've also even started looking at electric cars, hoping to buy one soon to further reduce the emissions that I produce. And finally, I'm going to talk about how remote learning has affected my work. In my opinion, remote working is a complete no for me. I know it's been a difficult year due to the lockdowns and restrictions and everything, but working from home has made work a lot harder, and I found it a lot harder to concentrate as well. I found that I didn't pay attention as much as I usually would if I was sat in a lecture, especially during a morning lecture, because I just found it was so easy to just accidentally fall back asleep and then have to rewatch the lecture later. I also found myself using my phone a lot more and just scrolling on social media instead of watching the lecture. So it also made me lack a lot of motivation as well, hence starting all my work late, having to get PMCs. Also, living in a student house with five other people working from home, I found that it was a lot harder to concentrate as everybody in the house would be noisy, whether just doing their own thing or watching lectures, which meant it was also a fight over getting the best Wi Fi connection. I found that I work best when I'm actually in a lecture, as I'm able to contribute to the class, ask questions, and speak to other classmates about the work, something which is a lot harder to do when you have lectures on Blackboard. Although it's been very useful to be able to go back and rewatch some of the lecture recordings, which was not possible before, so I hope this is a thing that can be continued. So overall, I really enjoyed this course. Even with the huge workload, I learned lots of new skills which are now going to stick with me and help me in future projects and in my personal life. Thank you for watching. Bye.